Peace, y'all. We are here with a new series in collaboration with More Interviews. And this series is called Show Us More. And this is where we feature our alumni, which we're going to have our brother coming in a second. With shouts out to adFlkco, a.k.a. on Instagram, Sad-Eyed Poet, for starting this off, the series. So it's going to be a little bit different, y'all. We're still going to talk and have our questions, but at the same time, we're going to just go through track by track when it comes to this project we have out. But before we do that, I want to at least pop up real quick. At least want to pop up the promo. This is from my future self for editing and things of that sort. But again, as we're coming in, if y'all have questions, please feel free throughout the interview to show us more. If you have questions, whether it's pertaining to adFlkco and the project or just in general of things that you're curious about. So with that being said, it's the brother from another, rocking it out, showing y'all how he replies. It's adFlkco. We're going to be getting into how a poet dies. So let me bring you in, brother. Yo, yo.
What up, man? Peace and love, man.
Likewise, man. Peace to you, my G.
Peace.
What's good?
Peace. Oh, nothing much, man. Just kicking it.
I feel it, man. Again, shouts out to you, brother, and much appreciation for not only hitting up and, really wondering and asking about, how the interviews and things has been going. Are we coming back to it? And because of that, my G, you are the first to start off this new series in conjunction with it called Show Us More. So I appreciate you for coming.
I appreciate you for having me, man. I always enjoy working with you and shit. The last interview was crazy.
Man, it was a wonderful time. That's all I had to end up saying, for sure. But yeah, we're gonna be getting to some other work too in behind the scenes because it's still yet that we've put anything out on wax just yet.
Yes, I know. We gotta get to work on that.
Yes. But so with more interviews, the same thing with Show Us More. What we're gonna do differently is, brother, and I'm again, you're the first, so we playing around with some things.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna try to see if I could play pieces of the track when we get into each part and speak on it. I've got my whole setups and questions for you, as well as this time I went through, got some bars. You'll see what I'm talking about when we come about really talking about it. But for those who do not know who you are, my G, please give them an intro and a background to who you are.
Well, I'm adFlkco. I've been making music for almost 10 years. I'm a co-owner / founder with my homie Tyler C of a collective called Cult Encounters Co. It's a hip-hop collective. We have MCs and producers. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. I appreciate that. Again, y'all, go follow the brother. We're going to have plugs and everything later for sure to check the stuff out. Now,
for sure.
I got a few questions before we even jump into the project. One of them, while I was listening to the project, for me, I listen to stuff on Bandcamp. I know for all my other folks, you got Spotify, you got Tidal. Man, down in the comments later on too, y'all let us know where y'all listening to stuff from on platforms. We really want to get a sense of where everybody's really getting their music from. But while I was on Bandcamp listening to the project, because I listened to it a few times, which, by the way, man, really great project.
Thank you so much, man. I put my heart in that shit, for real.
Yeah, maybe really question, like, how does a poet, commit those things while, exactly. Yeah. But as I was looking on your Bandcamp, I saw on the side for your, your intro to who you are, and I saw another name that, puzzled me, so I had to ask you, man, who is, if I'm saying this right, M.O.O.R.E, the Almighty?
That's one of my aliases I go by. My mother named me after Tupac. Tupac's middle name is M.O.O.R.E, and that's
M.O.R.E.
also my
Okay.
middle name. So I guess I meant to talk about this in another interview, but I didn't really get into it. M.O.R.E is like it was it was when I really decided to like step into my righteousness, you know,
Mm,
like just becoming a different man, becoming a different artist, you know,
yeah,
leaving adFlkco in 2016, you know,
yeah.
because adFlkco was created with drugs and grimy, cringy, dark music. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of a way of reinventing myself. You know what I mean? In a more
Mm,
righteous way. So yeah.
okay. Good dig that. I appreciate that because again, I
Mm-hmm.
was intrigued after I'm
Yeah.
like, how did I miss this too? But again, go for it.
People question it all the time. People think I go by all three. I go by Sad Eye Poet, I go by adFlkco, I go by M.O.R.E the Almighty. But just like on streaming services and this and that, it's adFlkco, you know. But like in my bars and on art and shit like
Yeah,
that, I'll put the M.O.R.E the Almighty and the Sad Eye Poet. And realistically, I don't really use the Sad Eye Poet for anything other than like my social tags. But
yes.
like, you know, I'll have bars where I'm like, you know, something something Sad Eye
Santi.
Poet, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah.
Okay. Boom. A little piece more for y'all. If y'all
Hmm.
didn't know, now you
Yeah.
know. Which I
I'm glad
was.
you asked that question, man, because like I said, I had an interview with Craig Mosher and he asked me a question about my three names and I kind of just like I didn't sum it up as much as I wanted to, you know.
Yeah.
So thank you
Shouts
for
out to Santi.
that.
I see you up in here, man. Hey
Peace.
Santi, go
Peace.
check out Sad Eye Poet, who we are interviewing right now for Show Us
Yeah,
More. This
peace.
is an alumni of more interviews. So come through. Got questions for him? Please pop them in there. We highly appreciate it, everyone out there. But yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
glad because it shows, or at least speaking on that, you know, shows at least a direction that you wanted to go or have been going with those two, because we speak about having different roles in life and knowing that
Mm-hmm.
we're not always tied to one is,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to elevate and change outside of that growth, but also give a name to it is, you know, very important to the legacy of the past. So everybody go back, oh yeah, man, that was my, you know, my sad eye
Yeah.
days, you know, that was
Mm-hmm. I
my sad
agree
flush.
for sure.
So
Yeah, no, I
like
agree for sure.
it becomes part of your memoir, your written experience.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. With that being said, next thing I want to ask you, you don't have to don't add so much, you know, as much as you want, because we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
going through and talking about the project track by track.
Yeah.
But give everybody a small intro to the project and the name and
Okay.
etc.
So the project is my sophomore album. So my second album called How a Poet Dies. And basically How a Poet Dies was a mixtape I made back in the day.
Mm,
Um and obviously all that shit's gone and deleted because, you know, me and T, we wanted to move on to better things. You know, like I said, we wanted to reinvent ourselves.
yeah.
So I obviously I feel like
Group.
I feel like death is an important thing for artists to consider and talk about
Yeah.
and, you know, dwell on. And it's always been like that with me. So
Yeah.
I felt like it still resonated in my life to bring
Yeah.
it to life in a different way.
Mm,
Um in a more respectful way to hip hop, you know.
got you.
And yeah, man, How a Poet Dies, I created it. I When I first started making it, I just got done with the breakup and I was just I was just really going through some spiritual shit, some emotional shit, and I felt like it was a perfect time to create this album, you
Mm,
know.
mm.
Um so yeah, that's what it is, man. It's literally like I said earlier, I put my heart into it, you know. All my emotions.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. You already know, especially one of my favorite tracks on there. I can't wait to speak on that one on you. You're
I'm
gonna be like, wait,
excited. I'm
what?
excited.
Yes. So, and I'm glad that I asked you the previous question too, because on one of the songs, and we get into it later, you kill me. Like I've already the
Yeah.
Tupac feel and everything already, so it makes a lot of sense. And I know last time on the other interview, you did talk about Tupac being one of those influences, so it makes a lot of
Oh
sense. Again,
yeah, the God, the God.
yes. it just, again, all the connections being made. If we didn't make enough from last time, there's like more being
Yes.
interwoven as it continues. But that's just life in general.
Yep.
It's a funny thing,
Mm-hmm.
really.
I
But
agree, man. I agree.
right, looking now at the physical of it, which I know some folks are probably not going to be able to see it as of right now. But again, the project is called "How a Poet Dies" by
Actually,
adFlkco.
hella
You got a
see.
physical of it?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so
Yep.
on the front for the cover art, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
first, who made it?
Me. So originally it was it's a Polaroid picture that I actually took a picture of. So I took a picture and then took a picture of the picture and then made it the
What?
album. Yeah, and it was actually really hard. I had to like angle the camera super weird, and I didn't think it was gonna turn out, but I'm super happy with how it turned out. And this is also me recreating a picture. I would honestly get it out, but it's in my safe right now. It's an
Yeah,
old picture from when I'm like 18, and I'm holding a sword to my neck, uh, in my old bedroom from that time. And like I said,
yeah,
I just wanted to recreate that. You know, I don't know. It just felt like it resonated with the project. You know, how
yeah,
a poet dies.
yeah,
And when this picture was taken, what I wrote on the Polaroid was how a poet dies, because I've always had the intention of making this project. It's just been a matter of when. You know what I'm saying? So that was why I was going through all those things, and I was like, especially spiritually,
yeah.
and obviously emotionally. So yeah, that's how this is. Yeah, this was made from my blood and my tears, man.
Yes, with some of those bars as well speaks
Mm-hmm.
to that same experience. But see, now again, a lot of it linking up, and it makes more sense to exactly of you've already had this, premeditated. It was just the timing. When the timing was right, this is where it
Exactly.
was dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Before I do start talking about the tracks, then is why this time? Why
Mm-hmm.
drop it this year?
Right. Um. Did, did I drop it this year?
It came in this year. I'm gonna look right. It's June 2023.
Okay, thank you for letting me know that. My bad. I just got done smoking. Um,
Narwar. I was playing.
um, like I said, man, it just came to fruition from the pain I was feeling, and especially spiritually. Like I was really questioning my beliefs. I've never been too religious. My mom tried to push that on me when I was younger, and I
Yeah,
pushed it away. And I'm looking into. I've been looking into a lot more different things. Another
yeah.
thing that played a big heavy influence in the album is, hold on, I got it right here. Let me grab it.
Go for it.
This.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
and you do mention it in one of the songs,
Yes.
which yes,
and
yes,
and that was straight up one of his bars. You know, I get emotional about life, and that just resonated with me to the highest of highest degrees. You know, because
yeah.
I am an emotional person. That was why I originally named myself Sad Flacco, Sad Eye Poet, because you know
Mm-hmm.
it's always been about my emotions, and just it's been therapy to me. So
Mm,
that's exactly what I did in this moment, and that's why I felt like because realistically, it was around like the end of 2022 that I finished it, and
mm,
like I said, I just got done with a breakup, in a relationship for 4 years with this woman.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, that played a role, um, and just I don't know, questioning my beliefs. You know, wanting to believe in something more.
yeah.
You know, and I felt like I found that in a sense. You know,
Mm,
I feel like I'm a doubtful person. I think I said that in one of these bars, you know.
yeah.
Shall I be a slave to Allah, or am I
Mm-hmm.
whatever I said? You know what I'm saying? Like it it made me want to, I don't know, it just made me want to talk about shit in a different way. Cause like I
Yeah,
said, this is my second solo album. So I felt like I needed to approach it the way that I was.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood.
Hmm.
All right, I'm with it. Get in the background you got to, because all around it's a depiction of your art, whether if it's musically, physically. you know, and it also goes on that mental, you know, road and lane, because basically it's approaching it and showing it in all realms, in all aspects, so then people
I
can get the
agree
fuller picture.
important
Yeah.
with me, man, because
So I really appreciate that,
yeah,
Reggie. Really do.
and I feel like that's important for people to hear this backside. That's why I'm also trying to do a lot of albums, or I'm sorry, a lot of interviews and talk about the albums. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, like even the album cover is questionable. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I was at my friend's house one day, and this little girl was like, Why do you have a knife to your neck, Marcus?" And
Yeah.
it was so I've had a lot of questionable things said about the album cover, but I feel like it's perfect representation of the project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I don't remember if you asked the question.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't. You did
Mm.
no. We just basically just going back, and I was just speaking my part on it.
Oh,
But
okay, okay.
that's what I was gonna allude to as well, is that because of how, you know, shocking it can look to other people, how that basically starts that conversation. But it is one of
Mm.
those important conversations, especially now, speaking about, you know, death and, you know, people, you
Yes.
know, leaving this earth, you know,
Mm.
choosing to do, you know,
Mm.
suicide and things of that
And
sort.
that's
So not
and
saying
that's
that this
another
is the
thing.
case, but
Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to touch on that I didn't touch on in that other interview, is that that isn't the case with this. You know, it's a question. It's not me stating, you know, how a poet dies, and then the
yeah,
cover is me ending my life. You know, that's
yeah,
not what it is. I feel like the album cover, it resembles it rem, it definitely resembles suicide, but I definitely feel like it resembles something more than that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like that's up for interpretation, honestly, you know.
yes,
You know. So I guess
and
however anybody wants to feel about it, but realistically, you know, it's important to the project just as much as the bars and the beats, and you know
yes,
what I mean. So
there
yeah.
it is. And shouts out to Santi. Santi got a question for you. He
What's up,
says,
Brody?
"Do you feel that going through trials and tribulations are necessary to evolve as a person and artist?" That's the first question.
Okay. So let me answer that right quick. Yes, 100%. And I feel like that's the only reason why this album is like that, you know,
Mm,
because we feel that going through trials and tribulations are necessary to evolve. Yeah, man.
mm-hmm.
Feel like I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today without any of my trials and tribulations. So yeah, the answer to that question is 100% yes. And I don't feel that way just about me. I feel that way about everybody. You know, you need to go through adversity, and you know, you need to get dragged through the mud in order to come out stronger and, you know,
Yeah, that in the
evolve.
murky waters.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly,
Uh,
man.
well, speaking of that, because I think you already answered the second half of it, but I will reiterate it still is, or, so you said yes to being able to, you have to go through the trials and tribulations. The second part says, or can you still put together something a high quality project or high
Ugh.
quality product without going through it? So can you still put that out even if you
That
didn't
is
go
a
through anything?
great question. I feel like I'm big on being real to myself and real to my
Yeah.
art. So that means there's no capping, there's no faking. You know, it's my experiences, it's my feelings, it's me, 100%. And I've
Yeah.
always been that way so that it wouldn't be questionable. But yeah, I could sit here and I could spit bars like this and that, but it's always going to tie into how I feel about something, you know, something I experienced. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, I can sit there and I can spit bars and metaphors, and you know, I could pull whatever out of my ass, but it's not the I don't know. It's not the way that I decide to approach things. Because, like I said earlier, it's therapy to me. You know, it's something I use as an outlet to talk about how I'm feeling, the things that I think about the world, and this and that. You know.
Yeah. There it is. Appreciate that question. Really good questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking questions. That was a good ass question, man. For real.
All right. With that being said, y'all, and I'm actually going to switch over and play some on Spotify. But what we're going to be doing, y'all, is we're going to be going track by track, speaking on each one of the tracks from the project. And I have my questions here and there for adFlkco to answer, as well as my breakdowns and own personal, feels that I got from each one of the songs. So I'm going to just name all of the tracks for the track list, and then we're going to start with the first one. So it's a seven track album, which one of the questions I have at the end of it too is that I was wondering why it was so short, but that's how it go.
I have a reason why for that too.
Okay, perfect. First track is called Talking to the Sky featuring Big Sharp. Other one is the title, of course, track of the project, How a Poet Dies. Number 3, I Get Emotional About Life. Number 4, Tell Your Mama I'm Sorry, featuring, is it K-Pack?
K-Pack, yep. K-Pack, produced by K-Pack and Blankface. There
it is. Number 5, Backpack Raps featuring Big Sharp. Got Big Sharp on again, as well as Hype Son. That brother, yeah. There's so much to be said about that brother.
God
and
Almighty, yep.
Number 6, Polaroid Pictures of Drugs and Nudity, which I already know how the project entitled Art is made. And then last one, Weathering the Storm.
Yes.
So we're going to go through the first track. I'm going to give you the 4 questions, and then I'm going to give my pieces to what I've got from the track. So I'm going to try to play it in the background because I don't know if they're going to be weird about it and then literally try to cut us off and stuff.
But they do that shit too.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I would love to play the track for you guys, but I'll try to see if I can get away with it a little bit in the background. So for the first track, of course, now it wants me to, I'm already logged in. All right, it's being weird. We can't do it from here now. I need to go back to Bandcamp. Oh, goodness. Don't play me like that, man. We're trying to get some plays. Trying to get some plays, y'all. But yeah, I'm still gonna run it. I'm still gonna run it plays later on. So we good. So for the first track for Talking to the Sky, from you, what was your main message as well as the mode that you were in when creating this?
Okay, so I feel like the mode I was in, I wrote that outside, and I remember, like I said, man, I was just thinking about, I was aching, and I was questioning things, and I was talking to the sky, I was praying, I was doing all sorts of things, and really that's the type of mode I was in, man. Like I said, in a spiritual mode, and like, I don't know, man. What was that other question? I don't remember what that was.
The other one was, you already saw it was, what was the main message in the song?
Okay.
At least from your thoughts and perspective.
I feel like the message is just praying, talking to the sky, and talking to the sky. Sure, this ain't the last time. I made that because there won't be a next. There will always be a next time. So I felt like I said, going into the project, I wanted to show a different side of me, and a side of me that I was trying to change about myself, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So I guess the message is talk to the sky, talk to the universe. I didn't go into the song with that intention, but realistically, man, I let everything be up for interpretation. I love to see what other people think about my art. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So realistically,
here I am.
Sometimes I feel like that's more important than, or maybe not more important, but just as important as,
Understood. Yeah. For folks to give, I know there's I want to see some highlights, because you kind of already touched on, how you got the message across and stuff. But give us some highlights and some bars that you remember from the track, and highlights as in, you know, what stuck out to you the most from the song, as well as if you got some bars that you personally were like, yeah, that was the ones on there that stuck to me in that moment. I know, making you like think of your like your bars and your songs
Yeah,
right now.
I'm trying to remember.
Because this man works, y'all. He continues to just put more and more stuff out. So
I really do. I'm always making at least almost 3 albums at a time. Like, for real. So I do write a lot of music. So here I am talking to the sky once more. I'm sure this ain't the last time. I feel like that, like I said earlier, I feel like that is the most important part of the song because, you know, there won't be I mean, there will be a next time, you know, and
yes.
you'll hear that in almost every single song in some sort of way. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess that, and yeah, I was gonna say something about Sharp's verse too.
Oh yeah.
I felt like me and Sharp are really similar. We both were born, oh, I guess his birthday is in September, but we were both born in '99, and I feel like we both have, we both, I don't know, just our vibe is the same. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it, but that's
Yeah.
that's like my brother, and he really fit the vibe on this song. So like when he says that like hook part about,
Yes.
you know, my brain is depressed, eyes are empty, but you know what I'm saying? Like he I feel like his whole verse, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He really
Which I will say, yeah,
he
go for it, go
really
for it.
like made the song how I wanted it to. You know, he came off with the exact vibe that I expected him to, you know,
Yes.
but also I didn't feel like it would I don't know, just resonate with the title so much. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So I say his whole verse for real. And then
Okay.
like I said,
Okay. I'm with it.
yeah.
And then the next question that I got for you on it, and just to give you a key in, just be ready to answer these same questions for all the previous tracks as
Yeah.
well, because
Yeah.
I just like to get the ins and outs on your thought process on each one of them, and et cetera, any
Yeah,
pieces
sounds
that you
good, man.
remember. And the last one I have for you for this track, and then we'll talk a bit more with what I broke down and got, is were there any other like behind the scenes or like aha moments when like you made it, whether you guys in the studio together or you wrote it off or you
Mm.
said you was writing it outside, like, you know,
Damn,
any
that's
other
a good
extra
question.
pieces?
I think we wrote that. Okay. I know I really like to overthink about my lyrics and make sure I'm putting all of me in the most best way into the song.
Yes.
So realistically, I was writing my verse. I wrote my verse first, obviously, and you know, I did that through. I honestly couldn't tell you how long it took me, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that I took my time with every single song, and you know, really made sure, like I said, I made it. I I killed my vision. You know, I hit it right on the spot.
Yes.
Um, so honestly during this time period we were hanging out a lot. So yeah,
Mm.
we could have been out down by the river, just kicking it in my fucking apartment. You know, um, and I believe at the time he was going through something as well. So you know, we kind of bonded over that, and
Mm.
yeah, me and him both love being in nature. So we'll, you know, uh, there's a river like right down the street. We'll go over there, we'll blow something, you know, sit there and hang out, talk, whatever. And
Yeah.
I felt like that was another reason why I wanted to get him on the song anyway. You know,
Yeah.
this song in particular, you know.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Man, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now, how I like to also listen to music after like a few of the listens is the things that I
Mm.
really look to and listen to, and then again, this is me creating a rubric for these to be going forward. So thank you again for being the first to help you know,
Yeah,
put the
man.
structure together.
Yeah,
So based off
man.
of when I
I'm
was
down for the
listening to the
movement.
song, yes, when I was listening to the song, four things that I wanted to structurally talk about. One of them being production,
Mm,
second one being about vibe, the third one,
okay.
of course, talking about the lyrics, and then
Mm,
just an overall, you know, feeling, at least notion that I got from it. And that's gonna be for the rest of these songs as we're going through. So
yeah.
for me, when listening to Talking to the Sky,
Mm-hmm.
first thing when I'm listening to is just the production. Usually when I first listen, I always hear is just like, does the production catch me in the first?
Mm,
So the words that came out for me when it came to explaining this production, it was a wandering melody that also sound melancholy, but at the same time, like you're questioning, like it was that type
mm,
of like situation. That's
mm,
what I got from the
okay.
production, down
Yeah.
from the keys to the
Mm,
drums, and especially the keys with that with the fluttering in the background is what really also got me kind of like thinking of the wandering feel
yes.
or the
It's
one.
glorious,
Yes.
man.
And again,
Okay.
who produced that one was Frankie Indigo.
Uh, Frankie Indigo, he's in Cult Encounters. Yeah, he used to go by DM Tree. Now he goes by Frankie Indigo. He's been rocking with us since like 2019, man. Shout out
Mm,
Frankie. Shout out DMT.
yeah,
Um,
man. He did his
that's
thing on this.
yes, that's my boy. Really, really, man. I know. I heard that beat, and I just started writing. It flowed out of me.
Yes.
But like I said, I took my time with it, and I really wanted to, you know, get in the nooks and crannies in the songs.
Yes.
So yeah.
Now, speaking of getting into everything and, going straight into
Mm,
it when feeling the song,
mm,
the vibe that I got from, I know I'm not like having like, oh yeah, it's like a chill fi hip hop. Like it's
mm,
whatever first thoughts come to my
mm,
mind. So what came to
mm.
my mind was thoughts in the clouds. That's like really the type of
Okay.
vibe I'm getting. It's just like
Mm,
thinking, questioning music.
yeah.
That's what got came into my head when listening to it. Cause again, like I said, from the production and just sitting there listening to both you and Big Sharp go in, it's just really like, man, they're really thinking about like, and they're in thought, just like,
Mm-hmm.
really, what's going on?
Very
Like,
conscious.
explain it to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I
And
said, man, I feel like. Oh, did you have something else to say?
no, that was fine.
Um, yeah. Like I said, I feel like me and Sharp we were our vibes were the same at the time, and we felt that we knew that about each other,
Yeah,
because we're boys, type shit.
there it is.
So I feel like the vibe, it was just it grew from pain for real.
Yes.
The pain that we shared. Obviously, we could have been going through different things, but it was still like because obviously, like, the point of the song is talking to the universe, talking to a higher power, a higher
Yes.
whatever it is that you believe. So in any way it can resonate with that. You know,
Mm,
yeah.
but yeah. And with that, with the lyrics, there was definitely ones that like were still catching me, but these were the ones when I listened to it, I was like, all right, it hit me right there in that immediate moment. So
Mm-hmm.
the lyric for you when you said this disruption in my cipher, but I don't let it be compromised. I bleed my lyrics so you be able to read it. Just let the blood dry.
Okay, what is the first bar again?
This disruption in my cipher.
Okay, this disruption in my cipher. Yeah, man. So basically, I'm talking about just like things that are coming into my life in a negative way. I won't let it. I won't let it. I won't let it disrupt the cipher.
Yeah.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying? I won't let it affect my life. I will grow from it. And like that one question, I'll evolve from it.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Yes.
what was the second part again?
So then, but I won't let it be compromised. You already answered. I bleed my lyrics so you
You'll be
be
able to
able
read
to
it. Just
read
let
it
the
and the
blood
blood
dry.
dry.
And what I meant by that is just, I'm putting my pain.
Yes.
I'm revealing myself. I'm
Yes.
dripping my blood on the page, and you know,
Yes.
yeah. So you'll be able to read it when the blood dries. And that's kind of what I mean. I mean like just releasing it. You're hearing it. It dries.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you for asking me that.
Oh yeah, brother. That's what I'm saying. Like some the lyrics, the ones that just pop into me again,
Mm-hmm.
it's not only just based off of the song, but like again, I am listening. I mean, of course, I'm listening to bars, but I know which ones again has been that was poignant and it popped out to me.
Right.
And then for Big Sharp, three things I noticed.
Okay.
For him, the first thing is
Excuse me. Sorry.
his verse is actually an 8 bar, but he
Mm.
repeats it. So then it's a
Yeah.
16 bar of a repeat of
Yeah.
the 8, which
Yeah.
to me
It's
is
basically like
also
the hook. It's like an end hook, kind of. You know what I mean?
yes,
So.
yes. But I also look at it as not even think of it in a sense of a chant, but also just re-asking it again. Like since you're talking to the sky, like, am I tripping? Like, do I need to say it again? So
Mm.
like you can get what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's like
Yes.
some of the underlayers
Like,
of
do
when
you
I'm
hear
like,
me?
okay,
For real.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
That's
and
beautiful. That's awesome.
and then his starting bars is what got me because I was like,
Mm.
okay. He said, there's a voice in the sky, but I'm deaf, so I
Death, so I
digress.
digress. Yes. The sky,
And then talk about
I'm
like
deaf,
as
so I
in
digress. The God is
I'm
unimpressed. I'm
impressed,
failing
impressed
every test.
test. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, man. I feel like we really killed this. We killed that song. I told him, I was like, bro, the title is the song. The title of the song is Talking to the Sky. Talk about, the shit you're going through right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really happy with this project. Like, definitely, definitely my best work to date. And like I said,
Yes.
it's a staple of who I am. It's a part of me. So yeah.
Beautiful. So overall for me, G, especially with a starting like a song to start the project off, it definitely
Yeah.
was form fitting because again it gets people into now questioning, okay, not
That's
only what's
Tyler. You
coming
can
next.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry to interrupt you. That was all T. Tyler,
Okay.
man. He was like,
Okay.
this needs to be the first song. He was like, bro, this
Mm,
gives perfect intro vibes. So so you can thank T for that. And honestly,
okay.
I had some other shit in mind. I don't remember what it was, but
Mm,
I think it was honestly, I think it was I don't know. I don't know. We wait to finish the project, and me and T sit there together, whether if it's a cult project, a solo project, his project.
yeah.
And when it's done, we sit there and we listen to it. Or you know what I mean. So
Yes.
yeah, I kind of lost where I was going with that, but
Yeah. We just shots out the T. That's what you're saying for,
yes, shout out
the
to T. So
placement.
yeah, I interrupted you. I apologize, bro.
No, no, you didn't. You were good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you were good. It was just asking, man. That was all it is. So overall, for me, this is
Yeah.
very solid intro, very solid. You know, throughout with the verse as well as again, I can not only hear, but when I write it down in the lyrics, I can see how poetic it is. Because I'm a dude that
Mm,
loves a lot of imagery as well too. So some of
yes.
this stuff,
Paint
based on like
pictures.
what I'm
Yeah.
seeing, yes, is being able to paint those pictures. In this case, give us the Polaroid pictures of these things. So,
Yes.
you
It's
know,
beautiful.
it's pretty dope, bro. Pretty
Thank you,
dope.
man. I really appreciate that for real.
All right. For the next track, y'all. Any other things you wanted to add to that one, or we want to move
No,
on to the
we can
next?
move on. Yeah.
All
What's
right.
yeah?
So the
Oh,
second one, which
title
is
track.
the title track, "How a
Yeah.
Poet Dies."
Mm.
So again, questions again for you with this track. I know you still want people to come up with their own interpretations and
Oh
a
no,
low key
I'll
adding
definitely
this,
give you
but
all
yes,
of my interpretations of
yes,
everything. Yes,
yes.
yes, no
So
doubt. I got that.
with this title track, what was the main message that you were wanting to convey?
Well, I realized I just wanted a title track in general, but oh yeah, I feel one with the flowers and trees. Like I said, heavy inspiration from Miss Morel and the Big Steppers when he sits there and
Mm-hmm.
he's saying, "Well, yesterday I prayed to the flowers and trees, gratification to the powers that be, synchronization with my energy chakras." Like that shit,
Mm,
it made me want to think more spiritual about my bars, and honestly, I was sitting outside, and like I said, like I hear birds chirping and that shit.
yeah,
I was looking at the sky, and I was thinking about the song, and it was a beautiful day, cloudy skies, birds flying everywhere. I think it was like in the morning time.
yeah.
So yeah, it's that, and I feel like also the beat really played a role into it too,
Yeah.
because I feel like I was trying to fit that vibe, and I felt like it just fit the vibe of, of the title, you know?
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that when it comes to the production, which don't
Yeah,
worry, y'all, I got y'all in a second.
that's Frank.
Got y'all.
That's Frankie too.
Yeah. And we'll see. I'll also have something for you at the end if you want me to, to speak about it. I will, but we'll get it. We'll
Yes,
we'll
yes,
continue,
please
here
do.
and there. Um, so from this track in particular, what are some highlights, as well as, again, you were saying some bars. I know the flowers and trees to the reference of, Kendrick, big, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and any other highlights that you grabbed from this.
Feel one with the flowers and trees. Um, feel like this
That's
one, man. I'm just venting, and honestly, I kept thinking about my dead relatives, and I
mm,
say at the end of the song, my grandpa just died from
died from
cancer.
cancer.
Yeah, he actually died, and when I wrote that, pretty sure he died in 2022. Um,
Mm,
but he died on my birthday, man.
mm,
Yeah, so that it obviously has stuck with me since then.
yeah. Mm,
So yeah, man, I finished this up in 2022, and
yeah.
then okay, I think in 2021 he passed away. So I was saying last year from cancer, but I feel
Yeah.
like that's really important, man, because when I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about death, and like I said, I feel like it's something important for people or just artists in general to,
To speak
it
on.
brings out yes, speak on, create about, it being a topic in things.
It
So
is important because of the fact that we have, the understanding of just the cycle of life, and for something to
exactly,
be brought anew, it has to pass away for something to be brought anew. So it may not just be,
I
doesn't have
agree.
to always be necessarily the physical aspect of dying and moving to a new plane, but at the
Hmm.
same time, like, even of a process of an idea, like after
Hmm.
you've like failed on something, in a sense, that attempt that you took had died, and now you have, came back and reemerged with the experience to now be like, okay, we're going to take this new journey now with this newfound knowledge from the previous.
Hmm. I like that.
Because some people look at it that way. It's like, I know, your words are powerful. I just had a show, shouts out to Random Thoughts. We had a show talking about the power of words. And I know that, not saying necessarily you're going to be wishing death on yourself, but even getting into that lane for some people is taboo to speak about death, because then that means it becomes closer and closer into reality. But more so in
Hmm.
the sense of speaking about it, because, again, there's more things than just we'll talk duality in a sense, but again, we know that there's just not only life to things, but there's also death. And then
Yes,
being able to piece it all together to feel the wholeness
and
of, that's the cycle.
mm, and I feel like it's important that that when I say how a poet dies, it's a
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
It's not me stating my death or how I'm going to die. It's me
Yes.
questioning it. So I feel like that's also important to keep in mind, and I feel like I tried to give that away in a sense.
Yeah. Bam. Same thing with this then too, brother, with, giving more away and stuff. Are there any other behind the scenes or memorable moments of this one, that you've already spoken on, but any other key
I
pieces?
can just really visualize myself writing this song, because I
Mm.
know that it took a lot longer than the other songs did, because like I said, I really wanted to be thoughtful, and I really wanted to dig deep in myself and talk about things that I'm going through. That's another thing, just recognizing my emotions, and that's a hard thing to do. So sitting there and dwelling with my pain, and
Yeah.
meditating with it, knowing it's a part of me, but knowing I
Yeah.
can move past it, because I know that is evolution. You know,
Yes.
devastation is progress. So I
Well
feel like
said.
I feel like it's just memorable because I can just visually picture myself sitting there
Yeah.
typing in my phone. I feel one with the flowers and trees, you know, like,
Yeah.
and just like the birds, like that really happened, you know, like the birds literally flew by. It was silent, and then I wrote silence, something about silence, and then I said sudden,
Mm.
and then I heard the sudden birds chirping, so I wrote that down. You know, that was just like an in the moment type thing, and that's another thing. During this time period, I was taking a lot of shrooms. I was going on
Mm.
like psychedelic binges, and
Yeah.
um, I was just really in nature almost every single day. I was by the river that I was talking about almost every single day. That was where sometimes I'd write, and you know, it was just I really did feel one with the flowers and trees, bro. Like, you know, I really felt that way.
Mm.
Yeah.
And y'all hear it. And hopefully
Mhm.
y'all do hear it.
Yeah.
So with that, for me, listening to How a Poet Dies, the title track, production wise, first thing for me is the laid back drums on this. Because
Mm.
it gives your voice more time to at least be able to, again, breathe and play
Process
around
what I'm
with and
saying.
process what you were saying. Yes.
Yeah.
As well as the sound stabs that come in and out, their little, you know, as well as for me, the
Oh
bass
yeah,
is a
those
bit,
were crazy. Those
yes.
are nice.
The
Yeah.
And then that bass being like very somber and eerie, the little and hearing just that background sound that adds to just like the bit of the ominous feel of like, you know, how's the poet die? Asking the question.
Mm.
Like, is it some music that again like it's moving you straight towards the tomb of like that's it? Or
Mm.
is it more so of am I questioning or asking, you know,
And
again, you're asking the
that's
question.
another thing. It's it's not just about me questioning it.
Yeah,
You know, if you're a poet, you should question it too. You
yeah,
know, because like I said, um, dark things create light, man, and beautiful art. And I genuinely, that's that's where I dwell, man.
yeah,
And you know, like I said, Amar, he
yeah.
he 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 wants to be righteous, and he wants to live a righteous life, and um you know, be a righteous man. And then, you know, Sad Flacco, he just he can't remove himself from his pain, you know,
Mm,
and that's why he always goes back to the notepad. So that's why Sad Flacco, like I said, I when I made Amar, it was me attempting to leave Sad Flacco in the past.
yeah,
But, but
yeah.
yeah, like I said, man, it just I I meditate with the shit, bro, and I create shit like this. And I feel like that's
Mm,
important, and other people should question that shit too, and you know, see what you make of it. You know, and that's of any medium. That doesn't. I'm not just
yes,
talking about MCs. I'm talking about painters, producers. You know,
yeah.
fucking drawers. Anybody that makes art. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Beautiful. Listen to all my artists, poets out there, man. Go through the process. Don't be afraid. Go
yes,
through the
the
process.
creative process, man.
Yeah.
Like the
Wherever it takes
universal.
you.
Yes, wherever it takes you for real. And like I only stated this once, but psychedelics played a big role in this project, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's also important. You know,
Yes. Yeah, because there is a bar
I
that
was
I definitely am
just
gonna
thinking
ask
about
you
it,
about. There's a
Advis. I
bar I'm
was
gonna
just thinking
ask you
about it.
about
Yeah.
it. Not on. I'm not saying not on this trip. I think there's
No,
another track because
no,
I
it's
wanna.
it's two more away.
Huh?
It's two more
It's
away.
it's probably yeah, well. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Which I think you know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
yeah. But speaking of that, the
Oh.
vibe for me also it gave me I don't know why for this beat in particular again. Shouts out to Frankie Indigo.
Yeah.
It gave me a Twilight Zone trance. It
Mm.
felt like that's what I was like in while trying to like listen to what you're speaking to me about. And then since you're talking about he's on psychedelics, I mean this is kind of in this sense it kind of also frames it together while you're trying to ask and search for that question. Of how a poet dies. It felt like I was traveling through some type of zone to figure it there.
That's beautiful, man.
Um, then the lyrics what popped out to me because a lot of it still talk about getting your pain out there It says, so still in the murky water with our stings, but the scars made my heart half rotten, and I don't want your
Still in the
bad
murky water.
medicine.
I said, still in the murky water. Hold on, let's see. Can I still?
While my G is doing that, let's see if we can play a little bit more of it. Mm-hmm. So let me see. All right, let's pop it because I know you tried to real quick. Let me. Oh, did we end up losing out? Said it was invited. So I'm gonna say this half, and then we're gonna pop back in because it looks like it got stuck. All right, let's see. Let's pop you back in here real quick. Hopefully it works. If not, I'm gonna save this part of the live, and then we're gonna continue back with it. Okay,
I'm
perfect.
so sorry, bro.
So now we know too. If you're
Yeah.
trying to read some stuff off of your phones, y'all need a separate
You can't.
thing.
Yeah, you can't. Okay. Damn.
Yes,
Okay.
it's all good.
You're gonna have to repeat that question, bro. I'm sorry. My bad.
So no, you're good. So what you were trying to see is you wanted to go and look at the lyrics because I told you for me,
Yeah.
the lyrics that popped out was still in the murky water with our stings, but the scars made my heart half rotten, and I don't want your bad medicine.
Yeah. I feel like one of those bars that you said is wrong. I say still in the murky water.
So the part that I know the sting, I might be wrong because I was trying to hear it, but after that it says, but the scars made my heart half rotten. Like I know I
still
heard
in the
that part
murky
for sure.
water. Yeah, so basically, like, I'm still in the murky waters. Oh, I'm still in the murky waters without stains. So I was
without stains. Okay.
I was referring to a lotus flower.
Mm.
Scars made my heart half rotten, you know? So
Thank you.
there's no stains on me, but I have a scarred heart, or however,
See, I knew it. So, like, look, yeah, man, feel free to, correct me because, I mean, I would have
I
to
got
have,
you.
like, been like, bro, the lyrics and stuff, because some of it I can hear it, then the other parts I'm like, man, that was very intricate. Let me see if I can still get it. So, please, correct me when possible, man.
And my memory isn't the best, so I'm trying to pull it back into frame, but
yeah.
So that one took a second.
No, yeah, nah, but you good, my man. But overall, I will definitely say with this track too, very consistent when it comes to the flow, the structure, and just overall with the project in itself, it keeps the momentum going again. You start off with already talking to the sky, trying to question stuff. Now you find and have this question, and now you're asking it to yourself, and you're depicting it. So it's keeping the flow going.
That's beautiful.
All right, my G.
And I get emotional about life. Yep, that's the third song.
That's the third one, so we that one.
Kind of, it dabbles with the question a little bit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
yes,
that's my favorite song on the project.
Guess what? It is my favorite song too. It is my favorite song too.
That is my shit, and I think I wanted that to be the intro, but I'm really glad that I made it. I'm really glad that we did it the way we did, because me and T were real big on making sure the sounds, they're cohesive,
Yes.
So that they're going into each other sounding fucking glorious, captivating. And I really think we did a good job on this one, man.
Yes.
We delivered.
Like I said,
on that.
Woo! Like I said, man, this one for sure. I was like, yeah, this is my favorite track. When I listen to projects, I go through, listen to them at least maybe 2 or 3 times. The first time is just really listening to production and what grabs me first. So like, yeah, each time I still went back through each time, I was like, yeah, this is still my number one for me personally. I get emotional about life. I'm like, from production to all those varying pieces together, I'm like, Yeah, man. This is my song. Will be bumping this like multiple
You
times.
want to
Multiple
hear something
times.
crazy, man?
Go
I
for it.
um I wrote the first half of the song tripping. I for real on some shrooms.
Mm,
The first half of the song, and you want to know what inspired that first half of the song? I don't
what?
know if you know who he is. His name's El the Don, and he's like a dude.
Mm,
Mm, he sits there and he pounds shit like prison style. You know what I'm saying? There's this
mm.
video on YouTube of him on his porch, and there was this other video that I once saw on Instagram or like Facebook or something, and it's this OG in New York just freestyling, and I'll cop a whole bag of shrooms, and that just stuck in my head. It just like
Yeah.
stuck in my head, and I watched that, and I was going through the YouTube wormhole, and I found that shit, and then I just started writing, and yeah,
Man. Okay. I
yeah.
feel it. We'll put. Let's go. Main message that you get about from emotional. I get emotional about life.
Man, like I said, I feel like it dabbles with the question of how does a poet die, in a sense. And I
I'm
feel
right.
like it's really just me stating, who I am. I get them. It's me accepting it.
Yeah.
I get emotional about life, and
Yes.
like I said, Kendrick played a huge role in that when he said, "Oh, that fucking beat is glorious," and he's like, "I get emotional about life. The lost ones keeping me up at night." Like, and that
Yeah.
just like it captivated me, and I was like, "Me fucking too." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's where it came from, and
Okay.
like I said, I felt like it resonated with me wanting to come off that way, like
Yeah.
this is me, this is who I am, and I can't help it. So I'm just being real.
Yes. Now, any behind the scenes or memorable moments that it also brings about from the track.
I feel like it's just really crazy what inspired the track in general. It was
Yeah.
just me going through YouTube, and I'm sitting there on a fucking. I think I want to say that I was like in the mid part of my trip, and I was just I was outside. I was sitting there on YouTube, and the sky was beautiful. The moon was shining bright, and I I had that moonlight shining on me, dog. I was just in my element for real, and I can just,
Mm,
like I said, I can picture myself writing a lot of these songs. I'm really big about imagery, like, and I really
yes.
can. I can really paint pictures in my head, this and that. So I feel like it's me painting a picture of just like the essence of the title, and I feel like that's memorable.
Yes.
And I feel like the first thing I said is definitely
Definitely memorable.
memorable. Like I said, yeah, I was tripping hard, and that was the first time I've ever been able to write on shrooms, actually. So
Mm,
so yeah, man. And yeah, man, just one day I was scrolling on whatever, and I saw that one video, and then it led to that one. So I
there
think
it
that's
is.
beautiful. And shout out Alpoca the Don. I tried to like find him on something, like
Yeah.
on Instagram or something. I think he might be in jail, or I don't know where he is, but I wanted to try to get him, do a collab with him or something. You should check
You
him
never
out, bro.
know.
He's on Spotify, and like
Okay.
he makes his beats like he uses his voice, and he like gets boards and
Yeah.
in the studio and like hits them. It's like really fascinating for
Okay.
real. Yeah,
I will definitely will peep. I'll keep that in mind.
for sure.
Man. Now, again, you already said it's yours favorite. It's my favorite as well. Now, production wise, what really was catching me is I said, is this alluring the loops and the chops of how it was just put?
Mm-hmm.
I love the way that it was constructed. Again, shouts out to Frankie Indigo. And the dark and light side is how I was getting it. So like the first part of the sample is a lot more
Yes,
dark hitting, and then the
it's like
second part
yin
of
and
it's very
yang.
light. Yes. Yes.
Yes, man. And
Yes.
maybe that's how I was able to come off the way that I did, because you know I was really trying to, like I said, get in the nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And then the consistent drums mostly throughout. And I like the switches are there from that temp. There's really a light tempo. Again, a lot of this stuff, when I think of also just poets and just folks who's displaying like their art and really, really rhyming, they really give a lot of breathing room for you to hear what they're saying.
yeah,
You don't want the beat to be having so many moving parts and
that's
flying through all these
beautiful.
different hoops. You want it to be,
Wow.
simple always gets a lot of things
I've
across,
never
and
really
it's
thought
helpful.
about it like that. Maybe that's why I have the beat selection that I do.
Yes.
That's beautiful, man.
I mean, shouts out to Daylight, because that made me, remember that not only what Black Thought was saying about having a voice and being that your part of your vocals is also that instrument, but the way that Daylight will rhyme on his stuff, it's very stripped down. There's not much of anything. Literally, sometimes it's almost kind of like the Griselda / some of these folks. It's just a loop. And it's not even worrying about the drums, but it gives so much space for your voice to move around. Because for folks who are mixing, a lot of our engineers and things of that sort, there's a lot of frequencies that you work with, and you have to be able to give each piece of
Yes.
the beat, the
Life.
drums, and everything
You got to
life.
give it
Yes,
life. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. No
And if
doubt.
there's so much there that also all are all trying to fit in one frequency, it
It'll be
starts
too
to
much.
clash.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No
So
doubt.
yeah, that's my piece on the production, which again is really dope. It's like, this is my
Yeah,
favorite.
man.
This is
Shout
my
out
favorite
Frankie.
beat.
I think this one was the oldest beat because I think the rest of them. Okay, Tuck Strangers was the producer, K-Pack and Blank Face. So yeah,
Yeah.
those three Frankie songs, the first two, he sent a pack, and those were the two that I picked out of it. But I Get Emotional About Life, I think we've had for like a year or something, and it just, we passed up on it for a reason. It was destined to be on this project.
Yes.
So yeah.
Now, speaking of that, and speaking of the vibe, this is the phrase that came out. That's just what it was. I got melancholy, hopeful, battle within. That's what I got
Okay.
from it. Oh,
Okay.
just like a vibe. That's what it felt like. And because of the fact of the dark and the light side,
Yes.
it's like you're like it's sad, but at the same time, the second loop that comes in sounds so hopeful in a way. So it's like, I'm getting emotional. I feel about this stuff about life. So it's like it's always ups and downs, because again, your emotions is just, the part of the climb, and they're ever changing.
Yes. And
So
that's
that's
beautiful.
like at least the
And
vibe
you're
that.
hitting it spot on. You're hitting it spot on, And
Mm,
like you said, that light and dark feeling, I feel like it definitely played a role into why my verse sounds the way it does.
yeah.
Just like those videos that inspired me, kind of like it kind of made me want to bring out like a more aggressive side of myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I'm talking shit. My intentions are right.
Mm-hmm.
It's that warm cup crack that my daddy put in the pipe. 16, I had oxys in my socks. Drowsy from hooks, dissolved the Sprite like I'm
Yeah.
venting. But I'm
Yes.
also talking shit, and I'm like I said, I'm dabbling with how does this poet die? In the
Yeah.
sense of, maybe selling drugs or, going to jail or being emotional about life or,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever else I touch on in it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you could probably apply it to most of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man. And then saying, speaking of you dabbling and putting all the lyrics together, the ones that popped out, and you can correct me if I say it, if I get it, wrong. But you were saying some of it. It's saying you would die for the aesthetic. You probably think you were Christ.
No,
That
you
was
probably
far.
think
That
that you're
was
trife.
Christ.
You probably think that you trife.
Oh,
Yeah, you probably think that you're hard. You probably
dang.
think that you're nasty, but you're not. Yeah.
Wow. See,
You
yeah,
would
that's even a deeper
die
layer
for
on
that
that
aesthetic.
aesthetic. You would
Yeah.
die for it.
Because,
He
and
said,
honestly, that was me talking about, honestly, like this newer generation and how they rock. And
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, don't put me on a pedestal,
yeah,
even though my
man.
intentions are right. Which I think that's a very, again, to go
It's me
from that telling
being
them
honest. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful because literally this is how I also, for me, how I look at a lot of stuff. I think of it in the sense of the law of neutrality. where everything is neutral
Yeah,
until you put your
yeah,
intentions behind it. And that's why it's it's powerful. Even though I'm
that's it.
telling you, you probably would die for that aesthetic, but don't put me on a pedestal even if I'm saying my intentions are right.
Yes,
Like still, you need to find what are
yes.
you intentional about? Where do you put yourself in that place? Because again, like you said, you can put your interpretations in there, but if I'm intentionally like this, I couldn't make this intentional where like I could have went here and been like, all right, these are what I hate about all of these songs on here and gave you all of this stuff. But see, my intentions in this particular case was because I wanted to know and learn more. My intentions could have been, all right, let me just flame this dude on blast. And
Yeah.
now all of these are going to be about, show us more is really trying to show and make everyone look like their project is terrible. I could have done that.
Right.
That could have been my intention.
Right.
But those lyrics is really what stuck out to me. I'm always big on intentionality on stuff too. So
Yeah, man.
really did.
I love your thought process for sure.
Thank you for writing this, because I'm gonna tell you right now, for me on mine, this is definitely a classic for sure. It's a classic track that like
That's
me for
beautiful.
this can be
Thank you, man.
played. This can be played for years and years to come.
Love, man.
Um,
And that's what I hope for, longevity, man. That's what I hope for. I want this to be around for my kids when I have them, my baby brother and my sister to show their kids, and
yeah.
for generations to come, not just my family, everybody else.
Yes. So hands down, brother, this is my favorite track. The production, the vibe, the lyrics, the imagery, like you speak with, and then your delivery on stuff. It keeps it, like you say, you're venting. You can hear it in your voice
Wow.
by the way you're delivering the bars. So I know. For
Yeah,
me,
man.
when to
Like I said,
go for
when
it.
I was saying this shit, man, I'm in it. It's real. It comes from me. So
Yeah.
I felt like even like my vocal tones, and I'm really big about trying to use different flows and sing a little here, make my voice sound super dark and grimy right here, and then normal
Yeah.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To fit, just to get in the nooks and crannies of that beat and just with the I don't know, man. Just like the frequency, you know what I
Yes.
mean? So
Yes. Yeah. But that was I get emotional about life because I get emotional listening to the song, and
that's good,
evokes it.
man. That's what I want. That's what I want, for real, man. Because I make art for I want it to resonate with people. I want them to find some sort of hope in it as well. I don't want them to look at this project as something just super dark and like there's no hope. How does a poet die? Like, it's a
Yeah.
question, and it's more so about just being deeper with yourself.
Yes.
Recognizing things about yourself, your emotions, the ones that are negative and positive. You know what I mean? And that's what this is made up of.
Yes. Bam. Again, beautifully worded.
Thank you.
The fourth track, y'all. The fourth track. Which I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard it, I was like, I'm not gonna lie. First time I heard it, I'm like, why is he doing that? But then like already got the reference real quickly to it. But the song, Tell Your Mama I'm Sorry, featuring K-Pack, which he sang it and rapped right into it, didn't he? Because he was his voice singing? Isn't that his voice
Yes,
singing?
that's him singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much on my conscience. All I hear is nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah, man. K-Pack's a long-time homie, and I'm really glad that he was on the project because he was on A.W.O.R.E, my freshman album. And another thing, he played the guitar on it. That's why that's live instrumental right there, dude. Yes. And this is my first song. We're actually now working on an album together because we made this song with live instrumentation, me dabbling with some rock shit. I got a member of Funkadelic. You know who Funkadelic is?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Man,
Man.
I got a feature from Garrett Schneider, I think is how you pronounce his last name. His father was Harry Schneider or Scheider. or however you pronounce it, but just legends, man. And like I said, I was dabbling with the psychedelics, and I fell in love with Funkadelic and George Clinton. Okay, I got his Funko Pop right here. Faith
Dang.
inspired. Yeah, man. So like, this was like, obviously I've known about funk and know its
Yes.
contribution to what it's done for hip hop, but I really dove into Boozy Collins, and one of my favorite albums right now is
Mm-hmm.
Diamonds and Freaks and Black Vintage by Black Odyssey. Dude, he's messing like jazz and funk and hip hop and R&B, neo soul. It's just the most precious thing I've ever heard in my life. And yeah, bro. So honestly, funkadelic and just like the psychedelic music type deal played a heavy role in this as well. Sorry, I kind of went away from the question, I think.
Oh yeah, no, it was good. You was already just throwing off some depictions of it, man. You're
Okay.
good. Let's just drop with main message that you know from the song in a sense.
Okay, so it was inspired. So Blank Face, he posted on his Snapchat story this beat. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, let me get that. He sent it to me. Blankface is actually the newest member of Cult Encounters. We really haven't done any other work with him other than him doing this. And then, I heard that he sent it to me, and right when I heard it without the guitar,
Yeah.
I just said, "Tell your mom I'm sorry." And like I said, I just got done with the breakup. And honestly, what made me think of that is, "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson."
Jackson,
Ooh,
I was gonna
yes.
ask you
Yes,
that. Okay.
Outcast. Yes. So that made me, it was like, tell your mama I'm sorry. I ain't mean to
Yeah.
be rude to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like I don't know. I was truthfully venting in that shit and just like, I don't know, man. It's like my first time experimenting the way I did with this song. I felt like
Yeah.
K-Pac especially brought that funk element into it with
Yes.
whatever vibe with the singing, man. His singing is just glorious, and I've always just admired him as an artist because he is
Yeah.
a man of all trades. He can produce, he can sing, he can spit, he can play the fucking guitar, and God knows what else he can play. Like, he can play the piano. Like I said, we're working on an album together, and I'm glad that we're talking about this song because I wanted to
Yes.
mention that this is, like I said, this album is my first time really experimenting with my voice and singing, and kind of stepping away from just the boom bap. There'll be some bars on there, me spitting, but
Yeah.
some of it's gonna be me singing and shit. And that's just
Mm.
a part of me that just wants to be uh, a better artist. You know
Yes.
what I mean? I want to evolve, and I want to work on all mediums because I'm so creative, bro. And I just
Yeah.
love having an outlet for myself. So I'm trying to find all the ways to do it, in a way while still respecting my art and my craft. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So
Yes. All right.
yeah.
With that, same thing, any highlights behind the scenes and memorable moments from this track?
I feel like I just remember sitting in the studio with T, and when Blankface first sent it, he was like, this is just missing something. And I feel like that was like me being like, you know what, you're right. Because like I said, right when I first heard it, I thought of that first bar. Tell your
Yeah.
mom I'm sorry. And that was actually in the first part of the song, but I took it out so that it could be like,
Mm.
I don't know. I wanted it to be like something around the middle and the ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember being in the stew with T, and I feel like he's the one that kind of made me think of the idea to hit up K-Pac and be like, "Yo, dude," because we've been meaning to work together again ever since A.W.O.R.E.
Okay.
That was 2019, So yeah, man, I wanted to involve him anyway, and this was just like a reminder to do so. And when I'm pretty sure I sent it to him, and then he was like, "Let me put the guitar on it." Actually,
Yeah.
yeah. So So T was the one that was like, this needs something more. I hit up K-Pack, and then K-Pack was like, let me put some fucking guitar on this. And I was like, please do, because I was just hyped to have some live instrumentation.
Yeah.
You know, I always think of one of Boldy James's albums. I forgot what it's called. Something McNichols. It's a road in Detroit. And that took like, T told me that shit took like 10 years for them to make because it's all live instrumentation. And that
Wow.
has always resonated with me, and I've always wanted to do something like that. So this was like a way for me to dabble with that. So I feel like that's definitely memorable for me.
All right.
Yeah, and like I was also saying, it's like it was like my first introduction to like me being obsessed with funk music.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I was being a trippy bastard. So, you know, I don't know. It just like it fit my vibe, and just like I don't know,
Yeah.
part of the soundtrack to the time period. You know.
Definitely. And speaking of all of this and, you know, the sounds together, for sure, like I got the funk right off the bat, especially with the bass line and that
Good. That's
guitar.
good.
Like
That's
I
what I
got it
wanted.
straight off the bat.
That's what
Um,
I wanted. So that's perfect.
the drums running in line with it, as well as the bouncy vocals. His vocals was very bouncy.
K-Pack.
Like, so it was very bouncy that way. And I'm glad you had said that, because I thought of the, again, Outcast when you were saying it. That was what I was waiting right when you said. I was like, yes, that's what it, that's the feel I got from that, as well as, I
Good.
don't know why,
Yeah.
but this is also what I got too. It made me think of Stevie Wonder, Superstition.
Ooh,
It made me
that's a
think of
beautiful
like
song.
that era of like the sounds together, but with the hip hop swing to it.
Wow, yeah, yeah, because
Yeah,
that is what we wanted. We wanted to bring that funk element,
yeah,
and we wanted to bring the hip hop element to it as well. So,
yeah.
you know, I'm glad that we accomplished that. That's good.
You did. Vibe. It was funky and bouncy. Like I said, it just really do got that feel to it. Lyrics from K-Pack. What I got from him was, I need some common ground. I know
I
my
need some
past is all you talk about. No open minds is always open mouths.
Yes, K-Pack, man, he's very different. Like I said, he's a man of all trades, and I admire him and his work. So I'm grateful I get to work on an album with him. And
Yep.
I guess those lyrics, he also said a certain part that resonated with my first album, because we had a song on there. He was on multiple songs, but the song that was just me and him,
Yeah.
it was called The Path. And he's like, he's basically talking about how to stay on the path. And he says something in this verse about how
Yeah.
I'm not sticking to the path. Gotta be cool. I'm never sticking to the path. I'm not acting a
The
fool. I'm
fool.
never following to what I used to do. He was referring to that song.
It's a callback.
Yes, that's crazy. That just played right when I started talking about it. Yes, yeah, man. So I felt like I caught on to that late, but then I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like that's beautiful, because I love like leaving a sense of our last album or something like that into the next one,
Yes.
or even beforehand doing that before something else drops, so
Yeah.
that was awesome that he did that.
Boom. And then for you, and again, you can always correct me. You please correct me when, again,
Yeah,
trying
I
to
got you.
decipher and hearing the lyrics. So it said, I admit my wrongs. So play the bad guy. So are you saying, so you play the bad guy,
No,
level headed,
my wrongs
wrongs?
I admit my wrongs. I played the bad guy, level headed, while
Yes.
trying to stay
You're
grounded.
grounded.
My past is my past, and I
Past, and
can't
I can't
change shit
change
about it.
about it. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so yeah, it was just for me. It's just that first beginning part, but everything else was just right in there. So like that hit me, because again, you talking about what this, what song was envisioning and embodying. Is like, well, yeah, man, I admit to what I've done. I could be the bad guy. I could still be level headed about what I'm doing, but I'm still also staying grounded to what I'm saying. So, and
Yeah.
because my past is my past, I can't change nothing about what happened in the past.
So let's focus on the future. little mama come in, I pull
Man.
her closer, pumping Buddha. You know, like, let's relax, calm down, type shit.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I felt like I was, you know, I was talking to the sky in a sense. I
Still
don't
by
know.
saying, tell your mama I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Got you.
yeah. I'm just like, you know, I'm venting on this one, and I'm also like, you know, kind of, kind of like I said, holding my ground in a sense. You
Yes.
know. So yeah.
Yeah, brother. Overall, hit the nail on the head when it came to, again, what you were wanting to accomplish from production, lyrics wise, you know,
Thank
getting those
you.
across between you and K-Pac. So to me it was also this song, out of all the other ones, and it was no disrespect to any of the you know, other songs there. This was the one that, you know, simply everything came as it was
Yes.
already, just
Yeah.
straight up, like, yeah, tell your mama I'm sorry because look, this and this is going on. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna follow, you know. So it all of it was through the first, like, listening to it already was like, there goes your answer.
Yes. Yeah.
Chicken and
And I
beef,
love
peace and love.
peace, man. Thanks for everybody that's tuned in right now. Another thing I wanted to say was I loved how I experimented with my voice on this one, you know, and you know, like you know, most of the time I'm singing in the beginning and then in the middle and then I go into spitting and then
Yeah.
I end the song like I ain't mean to be rude to you.
Yep.
I ain't mean to be rude to you. You know. Zoe, stop. Sorry, my dog keeps crying.
Oh, you're good. You're
Stop
good.
it.
But yeah, but that kill me. Of course, I think of Tupac.
My conscious
Hear
may
that part.
kill me.
Man,
My
yep.
conscious may kill me is actually a mixtape that I once had, and you know I wanted to incorporate that because I felt like that incorporated with how a poet dies, you know. And I kind of did the cover of my conscious may kill me similar. I used the picture, the original picture of this, you know, the old one
Yeah.
from like 2018 that was on that mixtape, and another picture of me. But yeah, man. So you know, it's all got meaning. It all resonates with something, you know. It
Beautiful.
there's always connections.
Yes. So we noticing on all of this, man. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still interconnected some way, somehow.
Yeah. Zoe, stop.
Speaking of connecting, on this next song, you connected with two brothers, and y'all did y'all thing on this. So the next song we talking about is Backpack Raps.
Produced by Chuck
Yeah,
Strangers.
featuring Big Sharp once again,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mr. Hype Son with the hunger,
The
you know,
God,
steady
yep.
climbing.
Mm-hmm.
So for you on this, with this track, first impressions and main message of really what you wanted to bring about with Backpack Raps.
Well, I think what's important is the beat, because the
Yes.
beat, we had that beat for a long time. We bought like a couple beats from Chuck Strangers, uh, whenever we did. It wasn't recently, that's for
Yeah.
sure. And this one just wasn't used for a long time, man. For probably at least 2 years, three
Mm.
probably, you know. And you know, maybe it was destined to be on this project, and you know, have the homies on it. And the joint mix the blood with the paint. I feel like what's important is I wasn't staying in my crib a lot. I was out and about, and I really was like living out of a backpack. So you know, it was some real backpack raps. Try to send me to the loony bin.
And it's
Yeah,
part of the
man.
bars that popped out
Yeah,
to me. You already
man.
going into it, but yes.
Hey, that song is honestly my second favorite song because honestly I felt like we got to capture a different vibe. It still stayed like in that dark but light element, but
Yes.
you know,
Oh
and
my
then
goodness, man.
and then Sharp's like verse and Hype Son's verse. I love Hype Son's verse.
Yeah.
Fucking, he's
Bruh.
talking about Martin Luther and Malcolm X and you know,
Ancestors, and then yeah, man,
yes, Sharp's talking about fucking
there's a number of stuff.
yeah,
I'm for
man.
sure everybody was doing their thing on this. That's all I had to say. And I'm shaking my head because you said this is your second favorite. This is also my second favorite
Yes,
track.
dude.
It's
This is
just
an
so
amazing song.
it's oh my goodness. But also speaking of that, man, what are some some highlights as well as behind the scenes and memorable moments with this track, with Backpack Raps.
So I remember writing this with Sharp.
Yeah.
I think we were at my apartment. When he come through, here, I want to show this real quick. I got,
Yes.
how do I turn? Oh, right here. I got a lot of records, man. I got a decent collection. So we sit in here and we spin records, and we just vibe, and eventually we start working,
Yeah.
and I don't know what made me want to get both of them on it is because I kind of wanted it to be like cult. I wanted it to be cult members, people in cult encounters. So and I really didn't want any features on it other than Sharp and Hype Son.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I usually get Tyler. Me and Tyler, we're on almost every project that we've ever made. And this one, I wanted to, I just wanted to do something different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd
And so far
say,
you have.
yeah, and I feel like that's memorable. And yeah, it's just a blessing that we still had this beat for real, because it did really good too. It was the song that people liked most, and I believe that's because I dropped it as a single, and also Chuck Strangers gave it some flair type shit,
Yeah.
with his name being attached to it. And Chuck Stranger, man, he's legendary. So I'm just grateful, I got a joint produced by him, and
Yeah.
that it came out the way that it did, because like I said, I love both their verses, and
Yeah.
I felt like it was also really important. Obviously, I didn't realize this till it was all done, but the 3 features that are on it, I felt like it resonated with me in a way
Yeah.
through them, and
Mm.
I doubt that will be perceived that way, but like, it just captured it's like a movie, man. It captured the vibe,
Yes. Awesome. Now, so we was already alluding to a lot of this
Mm-hmm.
production wise with this. The marching drums is what really was peeping out to me, along with the chimes. There's the mellow melody with that, but what having like a marching drum to a tune of a beat is like the background skates and the piano sounds is just adding to, not saying like this is like a whole different type of an anthem, but coming from the previous track for Telling Mama I'm Sorry, now more so like you got your Backpack Raps with you, and like now you're moving on towards, okay, what's the next thing coming, and y'all are again speaking of certain stuff in your particular with your lyrics. I know I had part on that part talk about a lucid trip. So again, alluding to the fact of like you got your Backpack Raps with you, but I mean you traveling, so they had to put me somewhere in, again, in the Looney. We're gonna speak on the lyrics, but
Yeah,
that's what I was getting along with that for the production. The vibe, to me, this is like mellow. To me, it's like mellow boom bap. That's what I was feeling a little bit with
some
this, a
backpack
little mellow boom bap.
raps. And want to know what? I really I came across that term while making this, and I googled what it was,
Yeah.
and the definition, it resonated. It resonated
Mm.
deeply. So I felt like that title was important to it was just it was an important addition to
Yeah.
like I keep referring to the time period in which I made this project,
Yeah.
because that plays all of the role in the creative process with this.
Yeah.
It was the fact of me sitting there acknowledging that this is going to happen now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if I would have done this, in 2 years, it wouldn't be like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that's important.
Yes, brother. Man, he said break it down, brother.
Oh,
He said
stop.
the definition. Hmm.
The definition of what?
Of Backpack Raps. He was
Um,
talking about it, if you had it.
we'd have to Google it, but it's
Yeah.
basically like kind of like I'm referring to living out of a backpack, sleeping at the studio half of the time. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically just like reality rap.
Yeah.
You're out and about. So basically like I don't know, like raps out of the backpack. I'd think of it like a metaphor. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep. It's what you carry with you, man. It's your life. What is in that backpack is, again, you rapping about your life and
Yeah,
what you're carrying
your
with you.
reality, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bam. Lyrics wise, and again, this is the one for sure. I know that I'm like did a terrible job with. So again, the first half of it for you, it said, "Do not disturb. I'm on a lucid trip." If
Yeah.
this Subnautic, is that what it is?
Are you saying what I said?
Yes.
I'm
So
saying
if this is it,
if they saw me now, they'd
if they
probably
saw
send
me
me
to the
or
loony bin,
do not
okay,
disturb. I'm on a lucid
lucid trip.
trip. If they
If they
saw me
saw me
now,
now,
try to
then
send me
send
to
me
the
to the
loony bin.
loony bin.
I'm referring
Okay.
to like I'm tripping. You know, I'm
Yes.
in my element. I'm in a vibe. I'm saying if they saw me like this, they'd throw me in the fucking
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being vulnerable with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
on the lucid trip. If they saw me now, they try to send me to the
To the
loony bin.
loony bin.
Like yeah,
It
like
was
you
written in the
know,
stars.
like I'm sounding crazy as fuck. Like
Yeah.
everything that I'm talking about, the fucking the cover itself. You know what I mean? So yeah. What the fuck?
Exactly. And then Big Sharp again he said, take a seat while I figure out the last half of my speech.
I know.
Tactically preach the masses,
Papa
Papa Xanax in
Xanax
retreat.
in retreat.
What?
Run back to flipping master double pat pat. Dude, no, like, bro. Anytime Zoe, stop it. Anytime I get sharp on a song, it is I always know that it is a good decision because he always comes through. He's always thoughtful. He's always revealing himself. You know,
Yes.
and a lot of the times not in positive ways. You know, it's aggressive. It's even
Yeah.
like the tone of his voice sets a vibe. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yes.
yeah,
I can't. Not gonna say can't. I'm recalling like the chorus, the Code FM project, and how you had him on a couple of songs and tracks. And I'll be
like
honest, I
domestic
can hear the
violence.
yes, but
Yes,
I hear the growth in these. Not saying back then like he was spitting, but when I heard him on this one, I'm like, yo, he really putting some stuff out on the
yes.
real.
He needs to make an album, man. And me and T been trying to convince him, but he's taking a little break from music. Thankfully, we just dropped a song with Bramable. He's a really amazing producer.
Mm,
And yeah, thankfully we were able to get him on that joint. We're making an album with Bramable right now, and I hope that we can get him on more of those songs. So let's talk to the universe about that. Yeah.
yes,
Because I love Sharp, man, and I feel like the people love Sharp, and if more people listen, they would love him too. You know, he's like the
yeah.
old dirty bastard of Cult Encounters. Yeah,
Mm,
and maybe, I'm not really. I'm talking about personality wise. You know,
yes,
maybe not flow wise or bar wise, but you know, he
yeah.
talks his shit, and he's himself, and he will only be himself. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
beautiful.
yeah,
And then of course, last
I know.
but definitely not least, for sure, Mr. Hype Son
Mm.
over here. He had a number of stuff. Just like again, a lot of y'all, there's a lot
He's
in there.
unbelievable.
But the one that got out to me because it was the imagery that hit me. It was when I was residing in his flow on this. Like how I
Yes,
like how
yeah,
he
I
does his
know
things.
exactly what you're talking about.
It said while I was residing inside of the room, my body refining.
Refining
In the beginning was swimming adapted to
like
waves like I was
I was
Poseidon.
Poseidon.
Like for me, I
Yes,
love the
dude.
imagery of because I haven't really not I say really. I know there's songs that probably out there, but the way he touched on when he was inside of the womb of how it's a
I know.
refinement setup.
If you want to know what I caught on to, I'm big into learning about the Muslim religion, the five
Yeah,
percenters. I don't know if
yeah,
you're aware of the five percenters, but
yes,
I'm very like I got the mathematics and everything, and it took me once I heard his verse the first couple times, it didn't catch on to me, but you know I was listening to it one day, and when he said refinement, I was like
yeah,
I know that from something. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So that resonated with me too, and I was like I said, man, I'm really big into revolutionary, and I'm really big into just expanding my knowledge to a very high degree so that I can create things like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like Hype Son, like when he said that shit about Martin Luther and fucking
Yeah.
Malcolm X,
Next.
like those are my favorite bars because I was like, like, and I felt like another thing I wanted to state was the fact that we all have our different vibe, but it's still
Yes.
one. You know what
Yes.
I mean? It's perfect representation of what I wanted the song to sound like, for real. So yeah,
But
man.
yes, y'all.
Hype Son just reminds me. He's a liberating person, bro. He
Yeah.
liberates me, and he when I first added him, well, not just me. When me and Tyler C added him, um, I found him because he did a song with Afro, and I
Yeah.
followed Afro. I did a song with
Mm-hmm.
him. I clicked on his shit, loved his shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
what is not to like about his work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I hit him up, man, and I was like, "Yo, dude, we need to do a song together." Eventually, he posted something on his story, and I slid up, and I was like, "Come over to Cole Encounters or something," and just our conversations that we've had over the phone. We've never been able to link in the physical. We still haven't been able to make that happen,
Yeah.
but one day we will make that shit happen. But he also made me wanna be more spiritual. You know,
Mm.
he was he was
Take care of your temple,
he was
body,
someone to
spirit, and
admire.
mental.
Yes, he was
Yes.
someone that inspired me, and like I genuinely admire. So I'm grateful to have him on this album, and I'm grateful to just have him by my side in the collective
Yeah.
because I know he's rocking and doing this thing, and yeah, man, fucking heavily grateful that I was able to capture this element for this song
Yes.
because it wouldn't be the same without Hype Son or Sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what if I just made this a solo song? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm very glad. I'm very glad of just how this fucking project turned out for real, man.
Yeah.
It's a prized possession to me. You know what I mean?
Be very proud of it.
Thanks, Brody.
And speaking of a prized possession that we like to take pictures of and things of that sorts, the next
Mm.
track, Polaroid pictures of drugs and nudity. Give
Yeah,
us some on
produced by
this.
L Buttons and okay.
Yes.
I think I was just looking through beats one day that we had, and I think this was before All Buttons then left the cult because he left Cult Encounters. He's no longer um a
Yeah.
part of the collective anymore.
Yeah.
Which is no bad blood or nothing. I'm just stating it for the history type shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Zoe, stop it. So when I found this beat and I heard it, the sample is very important.
Mm.
Sparked everything, it sparked the subject matter, and yeah,
Mm.
especially
Okay.
that verse is nasty, and like my little, I don't know what you call it, maybe a bridge or something. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
when I sit there and I repeat what I repeat in there,
Yeah.
I got grimy on that shit, and it was like I don't really know how to describe the vibe, but I felt like it definitely fit with what I was going for. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm referring to like when I picked it, like
Yeah.
I was looking through these beats with the intention of finding something for this project. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
when I found this one, the sample really sparked the hook. I'm gonna get
Mm.
you long, a felon driving the car, and like that shit. Mm. Yeah, man. I wanted to get, like I said, I wanted on what was it? I get emotional about life. I wanted to do the same thing on this. I wanted to get a little more grimy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Bring in a little
Yeah.
darker vibe, but not necessarily lyric wise. I mean, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
But even in that first part, when I'm like, it takes strength to smile, it takes heart to be strong, it takes love to heal, it takes patience to be calm.
I love that
I'm
setup.
always I'm always dropping gems, and that's for me to go back and remember. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's for the listener to resonate with them, and hopefully it affects them in some sort of way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You did your thing with that though, because that was the first ones I was gonna write down that had it just stuck out to me lyric wise.
Mm-hmm.
But before I get to my breakdown of this, any other highlights behind the scenes or memorable moments when writing this track?
I'd say it goes back to just I can literally just picture it, me
Yeah,
sitting in the studio with T and I'm picking out the beats. But I feel like it's the
and the
like
title.
yeah, it's like what the fuck am I even gonna do with this beat? You know what
Yeah,
I mean? You know what I mean? Because I loved it, but it was like how was I going to approach it? You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
stay accurate to the vision of the project.
yeah.
So, but I also feel like it came really naturally. It wasn't ride strap because we mean our boys. And I also think, like, going back to that first part when I say I need strength to smile, takes heart to be strong, that's me admitting to myself those things. And like I
Mm,
said, for me to go back and, because that's also, man, because like I said, it's therapy. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself as a child, things that I would have wanted to hear, that I want the youth
mm,
to hear. That's why I drop gems and I talk about the mathematics and I talk about, you know, just liberating shit in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I want to I want to come off as a person that, is for the cause, for the movement of art and music
yes.
and culture, and you know what I'm saying? Like I'm for the people. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And
yeah.
I feel like I touch on that in Weathering the Storm a little bit, you know?
Yes. We are going
So
to be getting to that one also in a little bit. That's going to round out the project.
that's like
Yes.
one of my favorite songs too. I love my flow. I love how I approach that beginning part of that song. Sorry,
Mm,
I won't get into it too much.
we
Yeah, I know
got to.
we'll
We
get
about to.
there. I know we'll get there. But
Well,
another
go
thing I
ahead.
wanted to actually talk about the title of the song, because I know you kept
Yes.
bringing that up. I kept dodging it, so I apologize for that. But
You good?
um yeah, I felt like I didn't honestly when I thought of that, I didn't even think about it in a way of it relating to the album cover. I didn't,
I'm truthfully.
truthfully. And truthfully, it was because my girlfriend got me a Polaroid for a holiday or something. I think it was
Yeah.
like my birthday, and it was something I love art, dude. Like I love paintings, I love photography, I love all sorts of music. I'm a fucking artist,
Yes.
by all means. So her gifting that to me, it was another way for me to express myself,
Yeah.
and it was fucking badass, and I felt like it just like I said, the time period. It had to do with the time period and just the fact that I've always loved photography and I've always loved. Oh, hold on, I got it right here. Hold up.
Bam.
Mm. First thing that ever inspired it, man. XXX Tentacion.
Mm. Mm.
God Almighty, man. Rest in peace his soul. But man, X has always inspired me. And back in the day, he was the reason why I was rapping the way that I was. And like I said, it wasn't good. It wasn't nothing that needs to be heard. But
Yeah.
I was heavily inspired with just, meditating. Just like the way he approached his art, the fact that he uses therapy, just like I already was. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he continues to inspire me. Like I said, Kendrick, Funk, like Funkadelic, George Clinton, and
Yeah.
X, they played a heavy role in this project.
Mm.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
And speaking about
guess
that, go for it.
yeah. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, speaking about that, the influences and things of that sort. For me, production wise, when hearing this is another piece of some funk that to me I was hearing in it. So it was a funky loop, and then that vocal reminds me of then of like the golden era of the '70s. What's going on, Nate the Great?
Peace, peace,
Um,
peace.
and it's just really just a vocal sample and the guitar,
Don't
really, and
stop it.
then and your voice over it. That's majority of what the beat is.
The
That's
thing
it.
about
That's the
that
song.
file, man. The thing about that file was is that we couldn't play around with the instrumentation of the song.
Yeah.
So it just had to be the way it was. We couldn't turn down the sample. We couldn't turn down anything.
Oh,
So
okay.
So he could only mix my vocals, and I'm referring
Okay.
to Tyler C. I'm referring to Tyler C. So shout out to him because he mixed everything for me, and without him, I feel like the vibe of the project would not be the way that it is for real, man. Because truthfully, man, it's hard for me to trust any other engineer with my voice because
Yeah.
he's been engineering my voice for fucking 10 years.
Mm,
Nobody can do what he does for me. I
gotcha.
mean, like how he delivers my voice and how he catches what I'm saying. I'm like, because I'm not an engineer. I'll sit there and be like, bro, I don't like this. I need it like this, and that. And I might not say it in a way to like, be super descriptive about the situation. But
Yeah.
he always understands. He always is fucking just
On it.
on it. And I'm fucking, the cult is blessed. I'm blessed because without T, I wouldn't even be spitting. I say this in every interview. Without
Mm,
him, I wouldn't even have been an MC, and I'm highly grateful of that. So, yeah.
there it is. The vibe of this, like I told you, I got the funk. The words that came together is a
Oh yeah,
funky
about the
mantra.
beat. Yeah.
Funky mantra.
That's funny because I didn't think about it like that, but I just enjoyed what I heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that, like I said, that sample is important.
Yes.
I loved that sample and just like how it was placed throughout the beat. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And it resonated with me. It resonated with like how a poet dies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you create the world of your own. And like another thing, I'm always talking to the audience. I felt like the sample was doing that for me already while
Yeah.
I'm sitting there doing the same thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like I said, that sample is really important for that song.
Yes. And speaking of talking to the audience,
Mm.
the lyrics that I caught, and again, I'll just correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
go ahead.
Shoot. I want to match the mediums of all myself and
Mm.
more.
Okay. I
Port
want to
it's a
master medium. Oh, sorry, were you not
master.
done? Go ahead.
Ooh, yeah,
I
yeah,
want
no.
to master mediums, involve myself with more. What
Mm.
was the rest of it? What
And
did you
then
have?
portraits of poets in mugshot form.
Portraits of poets. Going back to my early days
Yes.
as an artist. I had this song. It was one of my first songs. It was called Sketchy Painting. It was a XXX Tentacion remix. It got
Mm.
60K thousand streams and like thousands and thousands of likes, dude. And I deleted it off my SoundCloud because that's all it was posted under. It was
Yeah.
only on my SoundCloud, and yeah, it was called a sketchy painting. Because, like I said, man, paintings and pictures and those things have always resonated with me, and I've always incorporated it in my art. So I'm saying, you know, portraits of poets in mugshot form. That also made me think of like Tupac or all of the rappers that
Mm-hmm.
just rappers, rock stars, gods that are jailed.
Yeah.
Revolutionaries, things of that nature. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So yeah.
All right. I'm with that. Um, Overall, brother, to me, yeah, this is a solid track. Again, not enough for points to get across and keep the momentum.
That's good, man. Because that's what I wanted throughout the whole thing, I wanted it to be something enjoyable to listen to, and I also wanted it to be my best work ever, you know? And I also wanted it to obviously do everything that I've been saying, I had a vision, I was being picky, I was being particular, and I wanted to follow through with it in every aspect.
Yes. And last but not least, we're being picky in particular and going through all of it. Let's talk about weathering the storm.
No. Weather in the Storm is one. I love that song. One of my headphones just died. But, can you still hear me good?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Yeah, Weather in the Storm, man. I just love how I flow on that. That's one that's like real flowy. In the same storm, going through life with my thoughts and my gun. You know, like
Mm,
yeah. So I feel like I'm venting and I'm like, I'm in my bag on this one, and
mm,
I'm venting, but I'm just I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but Yeah, this song, like I brought up earlier, I wanted it. I like the end part of it. Zoe, stop.
Yeah.
I wanted to like bring a sense of equality because I did that on the World Works, and I want to continue to do that. You know what I mean? So, but also like I'm saying it, I'm venting about the relationship I just got into at this
Mm-hmm.
certain time after I just got out of one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Just I feel like what's important about this song is I'm venting and
Yes.
I'm being confident, I guess is the
Mm.
best way to put it.
Yeah. I dig that.
Much love. I appreciate that.
Any memorable moments behind the scenes with it that you can think of?
Honestly, I'm drawing a blank on this one. Let me think about it for a second. I feel like this is another one where I was in the setting of picking the beats, just
Yeah.
picking beats, and I found Polaroid pictures of drugs and nudity and weather in the storm. You
Yeah.
know, so I feel like once again, I'm picturing myself just in the studio because I don't know, I could just like picture periods throughout me making this album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess that, and I definitely remember just how I started flowing on it because I remember I heard that shit and I saw somewhere just we are not in the same boat, we're in the same storm, and that
Yes.
resonated with me, and yeah, so that made me think of that. We in the same storm, going through life with my thoughts and my gun. And like I said, it all goes back to how I'm feeling at this time. That's really important to all of the
Yes.
lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Because as I've stated, that's like that's how I write. That's how I work. You feel me?
Encapsulating that time in the moment there.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Especially with albums, or you
Yes.
know what I mean, with art. I feel like that's important. Because
Yes.
like I brought up earlier, I want this to be something. Longevity is important to me. I want this to be something that all of my art, all of my work with Cult Encounters, with this is a movement, and we're trying to we want it to be a long journey, and that's also why I talk a lot about healing on this, and accepting who I am, and knowing that I can change and evolve or be better, or but still standing my ground on who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm with it. Now, my breakdown, and then after that, last
no, stop
questions,
it.
and then we out for this. Which again, I appreciate your time, brother.
Yeah,
It's really much
bro.
respected. It
It's
is
been
to
fun.
start this off, and really get the gears going with show us more. So, we're
Yeah,
weathering the
man.
storm again. And I'm guessing this is shouts out to All Buttons In with
Yeah.
it, but it's the vocal samples on each one of these beats, but the last two for sure. Again,
Yeah.
was
All Buttons in production is
yeah.
I miss it, man. He's a great producer, for real.
Yeah.
And he
The
definitely
vocal
did his
sample,
thing on this beat.
yes, the vocal sample is very, very strong. Of course, given it its feel, the drums are very crunchy on this, which to me, how that goes with the piano and the vocals, the sounds together. To me, it starts to help. It like creates to me, it creates a bit of a discordant feel,
Mm,
like if you are going through like the storm trying to weather it, but like yeah, because I'm like, why is the so me I was like, why is the drum so crunchy, but then also the piano sounds this way, and then the vocal sample is like, so I'm like, where are we piecing this all together? But again, when you are weathering a storm, it's not going to straight out tell you, oh, I'm going to go straight at you. It's going to be coming
right.
from all places and all around. So
Mm,
it's like you have to picture and pick up the pieces where you're going. So that's how I felt when listening to production, is like figuring out like not only how you're approaching it, but then also how you're reacting to like the beat and everything else that's around in it.
right. Yeah, like I said, I felt like my flow is something that's like I wanted to also, you know, because also the point of this project was to show evolution, you know,
Yeah.
how much I have evolved, and, you know, stating that I still can evolve more, you know, by how I'm spitting, how, you know, it's a
Yeah.
lot more advanced, you know.
Mm, yeah. With the
Yeah.
vibe, I got an Offset Rising Rush. Like it felt like it's
Offset
like you're
Rising
moving
Rock.
towards the like you're moving towards, you know, the end of something, or
You're
towards
moving
it's
through the storm. Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Okay. That's
So that's
cool.
what's getting there. Again, lyrics wise, please tell me when it comes to what I'm saying. It said, "This ain't no movie." Is it? This ain't no movie, fool.
This ain't a movie, fool. I die about
Yeah,
my
by my
honor.
honor. Yeah,
Death you can't avoid.
can't
I
avoid
repent
doubt
to higher
to higher
powers for
powers
hours, analyze and hold these rhymes carefully like a
like a
flower.
flower. Yes,
Yeah. hmm Yes. Like I said, I'm doing my thing on this, man, and I'm proud of it because, you know, it's me.
and
And
that's what it
I love
is.
that bar. I love that you pointed that bar out because before that, like I said, I'm being confident on this song.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I slap you like a bitch. Your boys won't do shit but glare at you. This ain't a movie full. I'll die
fully
about my
advised by my
honor.
honor.
You know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Overall, man, again, it was a very decent. The ending to like really end everything off, but like I told you, it left me wondering what's next. Like I'm
That's
like, okay,
good.
what's going on?
Yes, because that is always an intention with the last song of any project that I make.
Okay.
100%. Because, yes, even with like my EP Warlike, you know, I I set shit off so that you question what is next for
Yeah.
me. You know, what am I going to do next? You know, and yeah, I'm glad. I hope that it comes off in a way of, you know, like I want you to think about it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, I definitely did. Like my first
Oh
listen when I heard it, for sure. But go.
yeah, and another thing about the end of this song is, you know, I ended it off, you know, in a peaceful note. Like I said, a sense with that sense of equality. Because, you
Yeah.
know, even though I'm sitting there and I'm being confident, and I'm also sitting here talking about repenting and healing and some troubles in a relationship or whatever, you
Yeah.
know, I'm showing love at the end of the song because that's the end of the album, and, you know, I want I want the end of the experience to be
Hmm.
for me to let you know, peace and love. You know,
Yeah.
that was specifically for the audience, you know, peace and love.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And y'all, that's at least a breakdown of how a poet dies. Um, I have just one last thing that I want you to do with it, as well as you're gonna do plug socials, anything else going on, and then we'll end it from here,
Yeah.
brother. Um, last thing I want you to do with this for the folks is do it. You're gonna do it three times.
Okay.
The first one is I want you to describe how a poet dies in one word.
Um, um I would say healing, honestly, because that's something I'm still trying to do, and that's something I was trying to do during the process of making this album, you know, because like I said,
Mm,
writing is therapeutic to me. So
yes.
yeah, man, healing for sure.
All right. After now you did that one word, what is a phrase that comes to mind for how a poet dies?
We ain't in the same boat. We're in the same storm, you know. And also, I feel like that plays a role because the way I start that song, you know, I'm that also brings a sense of equality. Because what I mean by that is, you know, we can be in this together. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that could be looking at it from different aspects. You know, I'm not just talking to the audience. I could be talking to somebody I know, whatever, talking to myself. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? And then the end of the song, it's me, you know, still being there for you in a sense. You know?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then because a lot of people do this for their projects just to have that. What would be a sentence describing it? So a descriptor for it.
You know, I'm gonna go back to a song on the project. I get emotional about life
Yeah.
because, you know, that's what the project is. It's emotional,
Mm,
you know. It still has
mm,
that boom bap vibe. It's got that psychedelic funk vibe and on a couple songs, you know. But I'm trying to relieve stress on this, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So you're gonna feel that.
So an emotional psychedelic boom bap vibe that is releasing stress to find that healing.
Yeah.
Because we are in the same boat, but you know, weathering the storm.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, oh yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And what you also saying is, yeah,
Yeah.
peace and love to all y'all out there, and just sit with this. Go ahead. Please go stream this everywhere. Listen to it. How a Poet Dies by adFlkco. Please plug your socials, any shows, other projects, and you know, any last words.
Um, yeah, man. You guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook under Sad Out Poet. Um, all streaming services. It's just Sad Flacco with the money sign. Flacco spelled FLCKO. And yeah, I'm on all platforms. Shout out Colton Counters and K-Pack. We're making an album, so that's on the way. Me, the Cult Clan, we're making an album with Bramable, which is amazing. It's gonna turn out very fire and it's gonna turn out very dark. I'm gonna reveal that right now. It's gonna be a dark project. So it's gonna be different from the other Cult albums, and we're thinking it's gonna be another 7, 8 songs. And
Okay.
I wanted to bring this up before I go. The reason why it's 7 songs
Mm.
is because of Funkadelic Records. All of them are only 7 songs.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was my reasoning for that. And I wanted to make it short but sweet, you know? Because, you know, I forgot how long it is, but it's not like an hour long. You know what I mean?
No,
It's a
I
pretty
think
quick listening
yes, it
if you're
is.
not digesting what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
It's roughly around about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in that range. I'm like looking at the numbers, but yeah, it's like somewhere roughly in that range.
So yeah, I wanted to say that, and yeah, I think I'm all good. Shouting out my other shit.
All right.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Well,
man,
thanks for
thank you so
having me,
much.
man.
Of
Yeah,
course.
thank you for real. I love doing this shit with you. I'm very grateful that I got to be the first one on this new segment type shit.
Yeah, man. You handled it, man.
Much love,
And I'm
man.
grateful for it. So again, I bring you your flowers. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
sharing this, you know, with us, showing us more about yourself through this project. And to all y'all out there, y'all let me know how a poet dies.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all let me know.
Yeah.
Is it through the art? Is it through getting emotional? Is it the physical? Please, like, let me know. How
Dwell
does a
with
poet
it.
die?
Yeah.
Flow with it,
Yeah.
and then don't forget, go and check out the project. So then after that, you will get to see the brother's interpretation on it and all.
Much
So
love, man.
with that being said, y'all, this has been the first of many to come of the series. Show us more with the brother adFlkco. We'll catch you next time for another. Well, I'll be doing more interviews this time with a brother, and then we'll get another show us more. So keep watching, keep sharing your memoirs and sharing your experiences so that you can also show us more about your life.
For sure. For sure.
But with that, y'all, peace and love.
Yep.
We'll catch y'all
Peace,
next time.
everybody. Peace.